The 71%, a collection of short tales relating to water. The late David Foster Wallace once gave a speech, greeting the audience with a short story.
There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?"
Wallace goes on to explain that the typical commencement speech might suggest that he is the wise old fish, explaining what water is to the younger fish. He abruptly and boldly states that he will not pretend to be the wise old fish, for that would not be the truth. Now my questions are, who is the wise old fish? How can I become the wise old fish? And what the hell is water? Since the time I was 4 feet tall, I dubbed the ocean female and named her Charlie. Now, every time I arrive at the beach, I whip my shoes behind me and bolt to the edge of the earth, letting the water pass over my bare feet. I feel the sting of the cold salt water and look over the vast body in front of me. Hello, Charlie. How have you been? I've missed you. When I was 5, I had this feeling that told me Charlie loved me so much that she wanted to take me away. She wanted to scoop me up and bury me under her waves. Her power and desire to take me didn't scare me. Every moment I got slapped and grabbed by her salty hand, I would smile and say, "Nope, not yet." I knew that my time to be with Charlie was not at that moment. And I knew Charlie knew. There are so many strange coincidences that explain why I feel free when around water. First off, if roller coasters don't involve water, I'm terrified. Secondly, I've had many memorable dreams that involve water and sea creatures like the killer whale. I felt drawn to kayaking, as well as to Australia, a country surrounded by water. Why is this? When I was a child, I found my baby box hidden in the back of my mother's closet. I opened it to find my hospital bracelet, a small white candle, my birth certificate, and a curved coral shell. I asked my mom why the shell was in the box. She explained that it was used to baptize me, and at that moment I had a sudden urge to reenact that day, just so I could have water poured over my forehead with that shell. Why? Water is such a simple and matter-of-fact word, and yet the complexities behind this word are numerous. Water carries so much meaning and so much power, for without water we cannot exist. Maybe it's inevitable that I feel such a strong pull towards water. I was born on a morning when a storm from Alaska had come for a visit. I was told water pounded on the windows and lightning whipped through the rain. I was born on a stormy March morning, making me a Pisces, a zodiac water sign. My sign depicts two fish swimming in opposite directions. It's a strange way to define myself, I'll admit it. I did just call myself not one fish, but two. And somehow, I take great comfort in this definition. It feels right to accept my own complexities. Have you ever stepped into the water, lowering your body beneath the surface so that the water dips over your shoulders, your knees touching the bottom and your palms resting on the top of the water? Of course you have. But have you closed your eyes and felt the water shift and sway? Not only is it moving and rocking your body slowly with each ripple and small wave, but your insides flow just as the waves do. You can feel your heart beat in time with the water that travels across your skin. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. You taste the clear, light green and blue body as it splashes on your lips. Have you felt everything just fade away into the background as the body you inhabit and the time you spent moves to a slower beat? Have you ever experienced the life water can push into you? Have you let it fill you up with this incredible ecstasy, no matter how frightening it may be? Have you taken a moment to notice that raw, primal sexual urge that drives from the source of that weightless freedom? Do you sense what this body of water you rest in can give you? Unrestricted peace or unimaginable destruction. With water comes the balance of opposites. We begin in water that dwells in our mother's womb. But water can bring death just as easily as it brings life. We have all witnessed tragedies, storms and floods eating away at earth and human bodies. When you experience the harmony of these opposites and come to understand that the two fish swimming in opposite directions as one being, then it becomes easier to trust in the one that I call Charlie, and trust in ourselves. We are made up of about 80% water, and this planet is 71% composed of water. Proof that we are all connected. The opposites are us. We are life and death, chaos and order, creation and destruction, repulsion and seduction. It is the wise old fish who understands that perhaps it's not Australia that's the island surrounded by water, but rather the whole planet that is an island filled with parallel worlds and realities. When we accept this, it is then that we can transform into that wise old fish, maybe for just one brief moment, maybe for the rest of our lives.